Hello, we're live. We are using something new today to try this out. I can't hear Aaron, so this is going to be interesting.
I can
Welcome
hear
to
you.
hashtag. Oh, good. You were just being silent. You were being so still and silent. I thought you were a still picture.
I was just letting you be the star of the show.
So this is hashtag Trek It Too, and just like a little behind the scenes, we're using a new app, and it had us kind of queued up. So like right before we went live, we couldn't see each other. And Aaron, we were messaging, just trying to make sure it was going to go right. And Aaron kind of panicked and he was wondering
I
if he was
wasn't
going to go live
panicking.
alone, which is surprising because he's been going live alone for the last three hashtag Trek Twos. How do you
I
feel
was
today,
totally
Aaron?
not panicking. Not at all.
Well, this is really cool. I feel like you're life size.
Absolutely.
Whoops.
You're looking the wrong
Woo!
way. Yeah.
Okay,
Me
it
too.
flipped. It flipped. This thing flipped on us. Anyway, so welcome to another hashtag Trek It Too. We're reading a very cool story today about Swamp Base. So if you want to read along with us, you can see the cover on screen right now. You want to pull out your October 2019 issue of Boys Life. If you don't have the print edition handy, do not worry. We are still giving away the last year of Boys Life for free on the Boys Life app. You just go to the App Store or Google Play Store, look for Boys Life. We'll open it up. We'll give you a few seconds, few minutes to download it, and go to the October 2019 issue. Don't buy anything. Just click for free, swipe in there, and look for the Swamp Base article. I think
Hey,
it's,
Gina,
yeah.
guess who's watching right now?
Who?
BSA Swamp Base.
No
Yeah,
way!
they are. They are with us right now.
Oh my
Isn't that
goodness,
cool?
we are really happy you guys are watching this. Today is all about you.
And we have Xavier from Pack 118. He's with us.
That is our
And
buddy Xavier.
yep. And Owen McDougal from Troop 884 is also with us.
Hello, Owen. I don't think we've had you on yet. So thanks
Yeah, no,
for.
he's been on.
Oh,
He's been on this week at least. Yeah.
okay. I haven't gotten to virtually meet you, so I'm glad to have you on today.
Yes. Yes.
So once again, we're reading the Swamp Base feature, written by none other than Aaron Durr. That's
I
an
was very
October
lucky. I got to go to Swamp Base not last fall, but a year before last. It was very fun, very cool.
for the story.
Yeah, absolutely. I was live on location.
I'd like to ask you what you did there, but I don't want to spoil the story.
Don't spoil the story. You have to read the story.
While everybody's pulling it up, should I tell a couple jokes?
Absolutely.
Now, I wrote all these jokes. Never before heard. Just kidding. They came to us from our readers, so if you're hearing these jokes and you think they're extremely funny, feel free to get on boyslife.org, go to the joke section, and submit some of your own jokes or comment along with your favorite jokes. Aaron's going to help make sure we read everything. So first one, I'm on Hitchin' Rack, so that's not going to be the jokes. That's going to
While
be a
you're finding
letter.
the jokes, Gina, shout out to New York City Cub Scout Pack 422. They've been loyal
Welcome back,
viewers for
guys.
the last couple of weeks. We're glad to have them. Kim Salvo from New York City, also viewing. Hi, Kim. Thanks for watching.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, I like this joke a lot because the characters in it are Christian and Gina. So we're going to reverse because Gina was the one that's going to say the part that you're going to have to say, Aaron.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to get a brain transplant. And the obvious thing you say back to that is,
Why?
actually, what happened?
What happened?
They changed my mind. The
Nice,
hilarious
because
whole
you had a brain transplant.
I
They
think
changed your
brain
mind.
transplants are hilarious.
They
The
are.
funniest.
I love brain transplant humor.
You know what's funny is that was Pedro's pick.
Nice. Sam Alexander from Texas joins us, Gina. He says hello.
Oh, hi. We're in Texas too.
Yeah, we sure are.
Nice day outside, huh?
It's very nice down here in Texas. Yeah, I hope it's nice down in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Oh, I bet it's nice. Wait, that's somebody who's from. Oh, is that where
Well,
Swamp Base is?
that's where Swamp. You'll read the story. Don't worry about it. It's in the story.
Okay. Well, aren't you from Louisiana?
I went to college in Louisiana. I was going
Okay.
to talk about that later when we read the story.
Okay, well, don't worry. We'll have new viewers for you to tell that in a minute. Let me tell
Exactly.
another joke.
Sam is
What
in
did the
Waco,
vamp-
by the way.
Oh,
Just
yeah, I
FYI.
bet it's nice there
Yep.
today.
Yep.
What did the vampires say to the ghost at the Halloween party?
I don't know what.
Come on, why don't you live a little? That's
Because it's a
fun.
ghost and it's a ghost and it's dead.
Yeah, so it has, but you know what? That ghost could have lived a lot.
Right.
We do not know how he became a
Maybe
ghost.
it has lived a lot. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
right. Okay, one more. Why did the barber cross the road?
To get to the other side.
Because he did not believe in shortcuts.
As
Now,
most
that
barbers.
is very timely because a lot of people out there's hair that it's
Yeah.
longer than they would typically have it.
People are having hair issues, Gina.
Every day is kind of a bad day,
Yep.
hair day for a lot of people, but at least they don't have to go. A lot of people don't have to go in the office to see it. It looks like your
Right.
hair's staying nice and short. Do you
Oh,
have
yeah.
did you do it?
Absolutely. Nope,
you cut
it's just nope, I have not. I got it cut right before we quarantined ourselves, and it's been a few weeks. I'm a little overdue, but it's the gray that really is the problem.
I couldn't tell. Oh, you usually go get that dyed?
Maybe might take care of that a little bit sometimes. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, you heard it here first. Now,
Here on the
Aaron's kind
side.
of a big deal. He's a big time author in Boyd's life. He's
Thanks,
actually
Gina.
the author of this story we're going to read today for everybody.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
Paddle On. It is about putting your skills to the test in the largest swamp in America. And guess what? BSA. That's BSA's swamp base.
Do you
Right.
know the name of the swamp, Gina?
I do. It's
I bet you
called.
can't pronounce it. I bet you can't pronounce it.
Why don't you give me a little bit of a tutorial? I think it's. Oh, I think I can say it. You want me to try, or do you want to?
Oh, I want you to try.
Okay. Atchafalaya. Atchafalaya.
That's pretty close. Atrophilia. Yep.
I think the only
Atrophilia
reason I
basin.
could pronounce that is because you gave the grammatical, or what's it called, phonetic spelling on the
Yes,
article.
exactly. Yes. As a professional writer, I was aware that many of our readers might not be familiar with that word.
Would you consider yourself a professional pronouncer as well?
No. I had to look that up.
Well, it's pretty good. So this is I'm on page 17 in October 2019 Boys Life. And Aaron, I give you full permission to stop me at any time.
Okay. I won't
Okay.
need to, but that's fine.
Well, we'd love to hear the commentary as you go. So we've got
BSA Swamp Base, by the way, says pronounce it like you're about to sneeze. It's good advice. Atrophilia.
Atchafalaya.
Exactly. But remember, sneeze into your underarm.
Just a second ago, we had a little map of it. It's huge. Is
It's
that
the biggest
correct?
swamp in America, Gina. Yeah.
It's huge. Does it go into
Yeah.
another state, or does it just happen to fit so well
I
in
think it might
Louisiana?
stretch into Mississippi, maybe just a little bit, but it's mostly just all the way across the southern part of Louisiana there. I
That's
bet
really
BSA
cool.
Swamp Base knows, but it goes basically all the way into the Gulf of Mexico.
So, how far away was your school from this?
So you see that map right there?
Uh-huh.
My school was in that town called Baton Rouge.
Wow, so you were close to the swamp.
Do you know who won the national championship in football last fall, Gina?
What's football?
That's where I went to school, LSU in Baton Rouge, right there.
Oh, cool.
1.4 million acres, Swamp Base says. That's how big the Atchafalaya Basin is. 1.4 million acres.
That's huge.
So if you've ever driven from Texas to Baton Rouge or New Orleans, you would drive over the Atchafalaya Basin, a portion of it. It's a very, very long bridge on I-10 that goes right between from Lafayette to Baton Rouge.
And that's
so
just the short length.
That's
of it.
actually right. That's the short way across. Exactly.
So when you're doing that, are you driving over like crocodiles?
Gators, actually, not
Gators?
crocodiles. Gators. Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you for that correction. See, that's why you're here. Gators? That's scary.
Yeah,
Really
gators.
cool.
Gators, Gina. Yeah.
I
Now,
cannot wait to read the story. Okay, should
at the
I?
time of our story, I'll just a little quick spoiler alert. When I went to Swamp Base, it was a little bit cooler. It was in the fall, and so the gators were not as active as they would have normally been. We didn't see any, but a lot of Swamp Base business is during the summer, and during summertime, there's a really good chance that you'll see a gator.
Wow, that's cool.
Cub Scout Pack 422 says must have lots of mosquitoes, and that is a 100% correct point during the summer. When I went, it was in the fall, it was a little bit cooler. In the summer, it is a mosquito town, so we do recommend insect repellent.
Okay, noted. I definitely would want to be
18.2 miles long, the swamp is, Gina.
Say that again?
18.2 miles long, the swamp is.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 18.2, the bridge, 18.2 miles.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's very, very,
Yeah.
very long.
Yeah.
Very long. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's get into the story.
So much good information. You haven't even started the story yet.
I know. Well, I'm gonna have a lot of questions on this one. I know because I've seen the pictures of this. I looked at the video quite a bit, and we're gonna show that later. It's really cool. It's very like just something you don't see every day, I guess, unless you live at Atchafalaya.
At Tripoli.
Oh, you do it better. Okay. Okay. There's only one way to truly experience the largest swamp in the country. When a group of people with similar interests spends a lot of time together, they often come up with their own language that no one else would understand. For a group of venturers from Houston, Texas, on a canoe trip through the swamps of South Louisiana, the key word was storming. And no, they weren't talking about the weather. On a challenging trek like this one, everybody has to work together to accomplish a common goal, exploring a unique environment that many have seen on TV or in movies, but few ever get to experience in person. Okay, so we've got pictures up as we go. This is the actual swamp base. And we've also got Swamp Base watching along with us, or they were a few minutes ago. So if you
They're actually they're posting some really good information in the comments right now. If you guys
That's
are
perfect.
interested in knowing more about Swamp Base, look in the comments right now. The official
Yeah.
BSA Swamp Base Facebook account is posting some good stuff right now.
So you might want to go on a trek there after you hear this. You might already be sold. Just go to
Yep.
their Facebook, and I bet you can get all set to do a trek in the future.
And also, by the way, shout out to Sarah who just joined us watching as well. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Okay, back to the story. When I said, hey, Sarah, my phone thought I said, hey. She did it again. Okay.
Tell Siri to be quiet.
No, Aaron, don't say her name.
Oh, sorry.
When the whole work together thing doesn't exactly work out, the result is a storm right there in the canoe. Just like with every team, with canoeing, you can have a partner and you have to use communication. It says Emma Lecheminant, 16-year-old treasurer and past president of Crew 62. How do you say it, Aaron?
I'd have to look up the spelling, but I don't think you got it right. Here we go. I think it's
Lecheminant.
Lecheminant.
Okay, I was pretty close then.
Yeah, you were close. Yeah.
Sometimes you could be struggling if one person is doing something that takes considerably more effort, and that can cause some storming. A tough first day. Run by the Evangeline Area Council, Swamp Base is a high adventure program that offers summer and short weekend paddling treks through the... How do you say that, Swamp?
Atchafalaya.
Atchafalaya Swamp. The first day of this trek was the toughest. More than 11 miles of paddling. It's an amazing area full of bayous, bald cypress trees, swamps, lakes, and marshes. The water is flat. It barely moves at all, so you get no help from the current. And the vegetation can be thick in some areas, which means you can rarely paddle in a straight line for more than a little bit at a time. Day one was tough. It was long, says Victoria Abmeyer. 16. These
Wait,
guys
what was
have
her
good
name
names.
again?
Victoria Abmeyer.
Yes.
Victoria
By the
Abmeyer.
way, we've got some folks who are on this trek watching right now. And
Oh,
they
yeah,
said that
yes.
you did a wonderful job pronouncing Emma's last name.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Shout out to
Victoria
Brooke and
Abner.
Karen. Sorry,
What's
Brooke and Karen.
what she
Shout out to
said?
Brooke and Karen. They were there.
Oh, hi guys. This is cool. We're really glad to have you. Feel free to correct me along with Aaron.
Yes, well, mostly Gina. I'll be fine, but Gina probably have to correct.
No. Yeah, Aaron wants to correct alongside you guys. He wants to be joined in the correction team. And I welcome you guys and I will accept Aaron. Okay. It was long, says Victoria Abner, 16, president of Crew 62. It was a lot like working with your teammate, so there was some storming going on. Most of the venturers were experienced paddlers. Many had visited Swamp Base the summer before and had done the 61-mile trek. They had so much fun, they had to come back for more. As their trip went on, there were fewer and fewer storms. This is way more fun than other canoeing trips I've done because you can see more of nature and do more bonding and teamwork here, says Helena Martin, 17, of Crew 62. The key is communication. If I see that we're going a little bit to the left, I'll say, let's do 3 strokes on the side until we get back on course. Dry feet, happy camping. Happy canoeing. One of the lessons the crew learned was the importance of keeping your feet dry. No one has ever been seriously injured from simply having wet shoes on a canoe trek, but it sure is uncomfortable. Some venturers put their feet, with socks on, in water baggies, then tucked the bags inside their socks. That way, when their shoes got wet, their feet stayed dry. Ooh, that sounds hot. Okay. Wet hiking boots smelling is one of the worst things, says Helen Elge, 16, president of Crew 424. It kills your vibe. I can imagine that. You guys went through a lot to avoid the smell, and I respect that. You know, that's pretty rare out there on treks. Okay, another lesson learned. Aaron, you want to say the swamp name?
Atchafalaya.
The Atchafalaya swamp is amazingly diverse. It's also called the Atchafalaya Basin. It's the largest wetland and swamp in the United States. There are gators in the water, but 70% of the basin is actually a forest. And in there lives the Louisiana black bear. Was not expecting a bear.
Yeah.
Wow. No worries. The venturers encountered neither on their fall trip. Clear skies ahead. On their last day, their swamp base guides took them on an airboat ride. An airboat gets its power from a giant fan mounted on its stern. The advantage of an airboat is it can glide over very shallow water since it doesn't have a motor that dips below the surface. The disadvantage is that it's loud. Very loud. So loud, you have to wear ear protection. It was so cool, says Jetty Court, 17, president of Crew 993. I've been on motorboats before, but this was completely different. The noise, you can't talk to anyone. So we were mouthing to each other, this is so cool. For dinner, Cajun food, of course. What else could you eat after such an epic experience in one of the coolest ecosystems in the world? I just try to enjoy my surroundings, said Monique Chapella Perez, a 17-year-old from Crew 355. I don't even notice any kind of physical toll that it takes on me. I just look around and clear my head. When we're canoeing through those trees and we saw the sunset, it was just beautiful. You see, not a single storm in sight. Very well written.
In there, you see how we tied it back into the storm?
I like that. That's very cool. Okay, so there you can see the name of the swamp, Atchafalaya. Atchafalaya?
Atchafalaya.
Atchafalaya.
Right.
So that's a little hard to say.
David Seabaugh says he attended Swamp Base back in 2016 and had an awesome adventure and hopes to return again someday. And Lisa says she has been there as well and that she loves Swamp Base.
That's cool. Well, I want to read this little bit about gators you added in here. You know, we always include kind of a know before you go, or we call sidebars. So one thing, if you're looking at these pictures, you're seeing people in canoes, right? But they're holding kayak paddles. And we've even posted some stuff on Instagram before, and we always get, why are they using kayak paddles? Well, unless you bring your own paddles, right? Actually, it makes a lot of sense. And I've actually heard that in canoe races, it's the same thing. A lot of times they'll use kayak paddles. Swamp Base officials prefer kayak paddles so scouts don't have to switch sides or use the J-stroke to move. They find it easier and more efficient to turn the boat correct your direction, stop, and accelerate, all of which is critical in this aquatic environment. That's cool. Because,
Yeah,
right,
it's not like canoeing on a wide open river. There's trees all around you, and there's shallow parts all around you. Yeah, so it's easier to use those paddles.
It makes you wonder why aren't all paddles like that? Because even if you're using, I guess, because you get a little bit better of a grip on.
And if you're just going forward, the big canoe paddles are a little bit more efficient. If your goal is just to go down river, but in this case, it's a little bit of a different environment, so it's not worth the trouble of those bigger canoe paddles.
Okay. So if you're looking for a little bit more information on the treks available at Swamp Base, of course there are different restrictions right now, but in the general running season, Swamp Base offers 2 week-long paddling treks through the swamp during the summer. One is 61 miles, the other is 74. In the shorter trek, you sleep in cabins on the water. Whoa. The longer trek requires participants to set up primitive campsites and sleep in jungle hammocks. Oh my goodness, bring your little mosquito tent.
The 61-mile trek, Gina, takes place over 5 days and 4 nights. We were not out there for that long, but that is an option for those who are interested.
That sounds very cool. It sounded like some of these girls had done that the summer before, correct?
Yeah, some of them had been there before. That's correct. And let me just tell you, these girls were paddling monsters. They were like super strong, super fit, fearless. No one complained. We paddled, according to my notes, we paddled on that first day about 3 miles in the morning and then 8 miles after lunch, which is pretty good paddling on flat water when the water's not moving at all. No complaints. Let me just tell you, I have been on scout trips with boys before that were, the attitudes, let me just say, were a lot different than they were on this trip with this venturing crew. These girls were like pros at paddling in this swamp. It was really, really cool.
It's so true. All units are different. Like,
Yeah.
your attitude going in makes a big difference. And even sometimes, like, if the attitude doesn't seem positive, it's just a dynamic that everybody strikes to get through it. And that's pretty cool that these girls had a real gung-ho attitude. Should we watch the video of it?
We should. Can I, before we do that, can I say one more thing real quick? Did you
Sure.
notice the photo of the houseboat? That look, I don't know, but there was a photo in there of a houseboat where these venturers stayed. That is in a part of the swamp that is actually called the Dark Forest, which is kind of a cool name. And our photographer who was there with me, W. Garth Dowling, perhaps you know him, he had been there before, and he said when he was there the previous time, that area was actually completely on dry land. So the water level is controlled by the Army Corps of Engineers, and sometimes it's much higher, and sometimes it's much lower. So it just so happened when we were there, the Dark Forest area was in fairly deep water. When Garth had been there before, it was like you could get out and walk around. Thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Very cool.
Victoria, by the way,
That's
whose
it.
name you pronounced correctly, is watching right now, Gina, and she says she can't wait to go back.
Oh, I would like to go back. And also it's worth noting, like, these are summer treks. You might be thinking, well, I'm not going to be going this summer, but it's actually the right time to be thinking of next summer or even the summer after, because you can start putting it in the books, raising some money. It is still a very doable thing for you to make this, a trek for next summer or the next summer.
It's a really, really unique area, Gina. It's really is unlike any area, almost any other area. Maybe kind of like the Everglades or something would be a kind of a comparison,
Yeah, and also, since Swamp Base has commented in the comments below, check it out. Go to their Facebook page. Keep up with the news, because you never know what they're going to do in the next calendar year, because, things are all different this year. Keep an eye on what they're offering. You never know what could pop up. I think we should watch a video. Let's let the beauty of Swamp Base speak for itself. Well, who
What a
took
great
that video? Who took that video?
What a great video. I took most of that video. I didn't get the shot of the alligator, but yeah, so no big deal. It's fine.
Very good job, Aaron. So you can write and work. Now, what kind of camera was that?
I don't remember. And Gina, funny story about that video. So when I was out there trying to keep up with these girls scooting around the swamp, I was trying to tweak the settings on the camera to get more space on my memory card, and I accidentally erased it. So I got some great shots of these ladies on the swamp that was forever lost to the,
No.
yeah, exactly.
here.
So, yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Those
Yeah.
were good. Those were some good shots. Thanks for getting that so we could all get a little taste. I have
course.
always wanted to take a ride in one of those, what are they called? The fan boat?
Airboats,
Airboat?
yeah.
Airboat,
Yeah.
wow. That's like the total, exactly what I think of when I think of some Louisiana.
Exactly. And you know why, of course, they're made like that, because so they can go on really, really shallow water. Those things can scoot across just a few inches of water. Like I said, the water level changes. You don't know for sure how deep it's going to be. So you could easily end up in an area that's way shallower than you're expecting.
I did not know that's why they were made that way, but I did after I read the story today.
Right.
So today's the
right.
first time I learned that. So thank
Good.
you for teaching me.
Yes. Chris
thought
Walden
today was
says
a
that
pretty
7
fun story.
people from Troop 1188 are looking forward to going to Swamp Base this June.
Oh, very
How cool is that?
7 of us. Wow.
And Samantha Schuster says Swamp Base is amazing.
Yeah, I'm just seeing that now. Oh, and Karen saw her scout in the video, or a pic. I think it was in the video.
Yeah, yep.
We're getting a shout out for Brooke Smith as a really good trek guide. Wow. And Swamp Base is reiterating canoes plus kayak paddles, best of both worlds. And they also love food on those treks. Like they're all about, okay, so let me ask a question. I bet everybody out there will have an opinion. I say Cajun. Is it Cajun or Cajun?
I've always said Cajun.
Okay.
Let's see
I
what
think that's
Ben says. But I've always
Yeah.
said Cajun. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say Cajun.
well, some people do, but I think we're probably saying
they?
it wrong.
Who says that?
I don't know. Isn't it kind of like French?
Let's see what Ben says, but I think that it's Cajun.
Okay,
Cajun
we're
French.
waiting. We're waiting. We will not end this until we know.
Absolutely not.
We want to be saying it right.
I'm so
That's for
happy
sure.
that so many people from Swamp Base have joined us. It's people who have been
No
there
S.
before. Yeah, exactly. Yes. No S.
Okay,
Right.
so it's Cajun.
That's
There you
correct.
have it.
Cajun. Brooke knows. Brooke is from there. She knows.
Okay, thank you guys. Now I've heard it from the source because only had Texans yelling at me up until now about it. Okay, what were you gonna say, Aaron?
Well, I'm just going to look through my notes here. I've got my notes here on my screen to see if we had any other interesting notes from this trip that we needed to cover. I mentioned the water levels. We paddled 3 miles on Saturday morning and about 8 miles after lunch on Saturday. And then on the next day, we ended up doing, I think, another 8 miles. So it was a lot of paddling on this trip. And the ladies were just, like I said, just like heroes out there. So it's very cool, very
It looked
impressive.
like they knew what they were doing in that video. I have tried to
They
canoe
were not
and
afraid
kayak.
at all. Yes.
I was not. I mean, I ended up going backwards somehow. So, and I don't just mean like I was moving backwards. It was like the whole thing flipped around and
Yeah,
you
that
know
can happen.
disturbed the fly fishermen. It was not good.
That can
Okay.
happen. Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it a storm. I would call it like a, I don't know. I'll have to think of the right word. It was like a missed forecast kind of thing.
There you go. There you
Like a
go.
wrong prediction. Okay,
Right.
well, anyway, thanks everybody for joining hashtag Trek It 2. We go live every single weekday at 2 p.m. Central. This is happening. I mean, we've been doing it for almost a month now. Trek It 2 is a thing.
Those
Thanks for making
of
it-
you who are watching for the first time today, tune in tomorrow. We won't be talking about Swamp Base again, but we'll be talking about another cool story from the pages of Boy's Life and on into next week.
And
We're not
honestly,
stopping.
if it goes on long enough, we will be coming back around to talk about Swamp Base again.
We will, yes.
And we love to. There's a lot of stories to tell. So,
Yeah.
Aaron, any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. Did I mention that I went to school just a short ways away from Swamp Base? And I can't remember who won the national championship in football, college football last year.
Oh, I think it was Oklahoma.
It was LSU, Gina.
Oh.
Go Tigers, not Boomer Sooner.
Yeah. Well, good luck out there. I know you play for the team, so.
Amy and Carrie, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks everybody.